All right, so what Miguel just loosened up here, these are the mounting bolts for this bracket. And this is the adjustment screw that he loosened up the nuts, which are essentially jam nuts that lock these into the setting. And then you'll adjust this socket head screw up and down according to how you want to be more aggressive in the front. Then this would be higher. I'll pass it over to Miguel. What we're going to do is, first thing is take off the edger pad. The edger pad is just a black vulcanized rubber. There is a height difference in this stem compared to the 7R, so just take note that you're getting a B2 pad. You can get a parts list for these and the whole assembly of parts on our website at cityfloorsupply.com. We're going to do the removal right now. We use a spanner wrench that we made here. We have a machine shop, so we have the luxury of doing those kinds of things, but you can also make this pretty simply. Piece of aluminum, just drill it out to the larger holes. That's your spacing, and then that'll be you know, created a spanner wrench that quick. So we've just locked it up on one of the fan assemblies for the edger, and he's just going to tap it. Now, any more than that, you're going to want to be really careful so that you're not breaking fan blades. It really should be that kind of a quick jarring hit to get it broken free. So we're looking at this pad resting on that bearing. This is what it's threaded onto, is what we call the jack shaft. And that jack shaft inside the gearbox holds the drive gear for the edger. All right, so these casters, to replace them is easy. We have kits that they come in. All you're going to simply do is throw the bolt through, screw that bolt assembly onto the top of the caster bracket. Then you can set it back in. And if you'll notice what Miguel did there, this is a retaining screw through the hole. Right. And it's going to go through and just lock in the stem bearing. You don't want, if you have to replace this screw, you don't want to go too deep, because then you'll lock up how this spins. All right, both spinning free. You know, while you're here and you have the pad off, you'll see in here, this is the roller guard. Now you have a couple options here. You could take this retaining disc off, pull the roller guard off if it's not spinning free like this, and then clean it. There should be a brass insert on the inside here, and that's kind of like a wear part that helps this stay clean and is grooved and will also spin. So like I said, it's just a right-handed thread on the jack shaft. Should also be a good time to, while you have it like this and you have the pad off or on, to take a look at the internal thread or the paper retaining thread on the jack shaft right here. That's what the bolt goes through to hold the paper on. You want to make sure, as far as depth, that you have good depth in that screw or that bolt, so that you're not stripping the threads of your bolt. What happens is debris gets in there, and mechanics will fasten the paper and thread the bolt down in there, and then just keep pressing debris until it builds up where the bolt doesn't hold paper anymore. And they think that this is stripped, where really it's just a lot of debris. So once you have the edger pad screwed on and replaced the casters, you're going to want to adjust the casters to how the edger is going to sand. But again, if you're doing these repairs in the field, you set it up the way you want to run your edger. We're going to show you how to adjust those, to make those adjustments, and that's going to be right here at the caster bracket. All right, so what Miguel just loosened up here, these are the mounting bolts for this bracket, and this is the adjustment screw that he loosened up the nuts, which are essentially jam nuts that lock these into the setting, and then you'll adjust this socket head screw up and down according to how you want to be more aggressive in the front. Then this would be higher. Now we just use something that's flat. This happens to be, a aluminum plate to get us close. It allows us to see how the casters are allowing the pad to contact the floor, like that tangent, and you can adjust that because you can see it by daylight through this. Every edger pad from the factory is going to be different. These are probably shaped and formed at the factory on different pieces of equipment. None of them are going to be alike, and they're certainly not going to edge the way your old pad was edging before you replaced it. So what we typically do is what we call dressing the pad. We'll dress the pad to the machine now. And what we're going to do is take out any high spots of rubber off of the pad. We're not going to reduce the life of the pad by doing that. All we're doing is making it a more smooth cut by taking the excess rubber off. What we typically will do is mark in chalk just these ribs that are vertical on the pad, so that you get an idea once you go to dress this without sandpaper on it on our dressing station. You'll see areas of this chalk that never got touched. You'll see areas of this chalk that may be all the way back to the heel of the machine by the bolt. So those areas are showing you that that pad's not even. So once we have that even, that all of the chalk is removed in the same spots, the machine will sand and edge very smoothly. So that'll cover changing out the edger pad, replacing casters, then adjusting the caster bracket with new casters to the new pad. If you have any questions with regard to pads or parts, you can go to cityfloorsupply.com. You can look up American Sanders, then go down to edgers. You'll see the B2 on there. You can go to a parts diagram for that, order the material online, or you can give us a call at 800-737-1786.